Hello, I'm Jessica Granada and I'm making a simple video all about the parts and functions and how the starting system works. The starting system. The starting system includes the battery, starter motor, solenoid, ignition switch, and in some cases, a starter relay. An inhibitor or neutral safety switch is included in the starting system circuit to prevent the vehicle from being started while in gear. Battery, an electrochemical device for storing energy in chemical form so that it can be released as electricity for cranking the engine and powering the electrical load. Also a group of electric cells connected together. Starting motor, a small, powerful electric motor that converts electrical energy from the battery into mechanical energy to spin the crankshaft and start the engine. The starter motor consists of a starter is an electric motor that turns over a cranks the engine to start it. A starter consists of very powerful DC electric motor and the starter solenoid that is usually attached to the motor. Inside, a typical starter motor has the electric windings or coils attached to the starter motor housing and the armature, the rotating part that is connected through the carbon brushes in series with the windings. On the front end of the armature, there is a small gear that attaches the armature through an overrunning clutch. This part is commonly known as the Bendix. Solenoid, an electrochemical device which, when connected to an electrical source such as battery, produces a mechanical movement. The starter solenoid works as a powerful electric relay. When activated, it closes the electric circuit and sends the battery power to the starter motor. At the same time, the starter solenoid pushes the starter gear forward to mesh with the engine flywheel. A typical starter solenoid has one small connector for the control wire and two large terminals, one for the positive battery cable and other for the starter motor. Ignition switch, the K-operated main power switch that opens and closes the circuit that supplies current to the ignition and other electrical systems. Inhibitor or neutral safety. Neutral starter switch, a switch wired in the ignition switch to prevent engine cranking unless the transmission shift lever is in neutral. Starter relay, an electrical device that opens or closes a circuit in response to a voltage signal. Battery cables. A starter motor requires a very high current to crank the engine. That's why it's connected to the battery with the thick or large gauge cables. The negative ground cables connect the battery terminal to the engine cylinder block, close the starter. The positive cable connects the positive battery terminal to the starter solenoid. To start the automobile engine, the crankshaft must turn fast enough for air-fuel mixture to enter the cylinders. An electric starter or starting motor does this job. It converts electrical energy from the battery into mechanical energy that rotates the crankshaft. The starting system has two separated but related circuits: low current control circuit or thick arrows, high current motor circuit or thick arrows, both operated on battery voltage. When the driver turns the ignition key to start, the control circuit causes heavy contacts to the close in a starter relay or solenoid switch. High current then flows from the battery insulated cable through these contacts to the starting motor. A gear in the starting motor shaft moves into mesh with the ring gear around the engine flywheel or drive plate. As the starting motor shaft turns, it spins the crankshaft fast enough to start the engine.